Yes, you didn't think she was not going to come out here at 2 o'clock on the dot. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sharon Mazion. I'm chair of the Performing Arts Department here at Breck, and we'd like to welcome you all to what's going to be an absolutely stellar afternoon of music. I'd like to especially welcome our orchestra families, our alumni, and our other special guests here this afternoon. We know that this afternoon will be a celebration of our students' hard work, but also it marks the end of an era. It will be the last concert conducted by our dear colleague, mentor, friend, and all-around mensch, Claudette Laureano. For 29 years, Claudette has been our fearless leader of our orchestra program. She has led with tenacity and great care, and she has impacted countless students from her work here as well as at the Minnesota Youth Symphonies. We know that the heart of her work is her love of making beautiful music, and more so, her students. So with that, I'd like to invite a very special guest to the microphone, one of her former students. Please welcome Julian Maddox, class of 2015.
Good afternoon. You have no idea how weird it is to set foot on the stage again. No, I'm Julian Maddox, proud Breck graduate, class of 2015. I see so many familiar faces, and it's really heartwarming to return to celebrate this special day. To give a little bit of background about my journey since Breck, I attended the Cleveland Institute of Music and studied violin performance for 6 years, received undergraduate and graduate degrees. I have played at Severance Hall, been a member of the Baltimore Symphony for many seasons. To this day, I'm on my 7th season playing as a guest artist with the Pro Music Chamber Orchestra. A little closer to home, I actually had a performance at a renowned concert hall known as US Bank Stadium at halftime. Yes, presented with a vocal soloist, Snoop Dogg. So check us out on Netflix. Likewise, as an educator, I've mentored hundreds of students in my communities, whether here in the Twin Cities or in Ohio, where I went to school, in Baltimore area, coaching chamber music and leading string sectionals, all sorts of things that are very much informed by the wonderful person that we're here to celebrate today, Claudette Laureano. I first met Claudette as a young, determined, strongly opinionated young violinist, and maybe a little bit of a propensity to be creative and less so to sit still. It should come as no surprise that I now have a 6-year-old who is even stronger willed than I was, and maybe sits still even less. That said, my very first days in Breck Middle School, I would gaze at the walls of Claudette's brightly, vibrantly decorated classroom, adorned with plenty of inspiration for a young violinist, references to Mozart, Beethoven, John Williams, even Disney. But I think that the most poignant advice I would ever get would come from Claudette herself, whether on the podium or one of the graphic decoration quotes upon the walls. I'll give you an example. Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence. 3 times is a start, so keep on practicing. We'll call this iconic quote the Claudette method. A very seemingly simple approach to practice and methodology, and yet it's an effective way to build diligent, dedicated, and replicable practice habits for a young musician. The easy thing to do, I think, in music and in life would be, okay, I got it once, let's move on for the sake of expedience. We all know plenty to get to these days in the world, but good enough. Let's examine that for a moment. In an orchestral audition setting, for instance, you are tasked with preparing at least 1 hour of varied music, occasionally from memory, to be ready to perform instantly, in complete isolation, from behind a curtain, alone, in a huge concert hall, empty, for 10 to 12 discerning musicians who are judging you harshly in about 4 or 5 minutes. If that's successful, congratulations, you get to do it again, and again, and again, until they get it down to 5, 4, 3, maybe 2 finalists down from hundreds of applicants for a symphony orchestra position. good enough doesn't quite get the job done, and it didn't get the job done for Claudette either. Whether it was determining where I wanted to emphasize the most dramatic part of a phrase, or putting something intricately complex together with string quartet colleagues late at night in a practice room rehearsal, or trying to get the B-flat 3 to B-flat 6 shift at the beginning of this cadenza of Sibelius' violin concerto in the first movement without slamming my head into a brick wall, I would always think, no, not once, not twice, not 3 times even, more like dozens of times. These values were so impactful, and they started right here with Claudette. I owe that musical value and countless others to Claudette's warm, stern, and yet joyful approach to teaching, to life, and to music. I can't express enough how humbled I am to be here to celebrate this day with all of you, and Claudette, we love you, and thank you.
It's been a while since I've gotten a bow since I retired from work last year. Good afternoon, and welcome to Stringfest 2026. I'm your host, Manny Laureano. Today, we celebrate a remarkable milestone, America's 250th birthday, through the music that makes our country truly extraordinary. Our program features only American composers, each piece alive with the innovation, spirit, and diversity that define our nation. From bold, sweeping melodies to deeply soulful rhythms, this music tells the story of America, its history, its dreams, its boundless possibilities. American music has always been shaped by cultures and traditions coming together. In the 1800s, popular songs spread through traveling performers, community dances, early sheet music, for example. Tunes like Little Brown Jug were sung in homes and social gatherings before later finding new life in early jazz and big band traditions. Folk favorites such as Buffalo Gals captured the spirit of everyday life and social dance culture. Meanwhile, railroad ballads like Wabash Cannonball celebrated the rise of trains and became enduring staples of country and folk music. Together, these songs show how early American music grew from simple melodies, storytelling, and shared experiences that lay the foundation for the rich musical landscape we celebrate today. So, get ready to feel the pride, the energy, and the greatness of American music. Let's celebrate our nation one note at a time. Please welcome Ensemble da Capo with Concertmaster Charlotte Kerwin as we begin our American celebration. promise we're not going to do this every single time. One fascinating piano piece from the 19th century is Souvenir de Puerto Rico, written by American composer and pianist Louis Moreau Gottschalk, and arranged for string orchestra by Robert Frost. I don't think it's that Robert Frost. Okay. Gottschalk lived in the 1800s and was known for traveling throughout the Caribbean and Latin America. During one of his visits to Puerto Rico, he heard local musicians playing traditional dance music. One rhythm that really inspired him was a style called the danza. He took a melody from that tradition and turned it into this exciting concert piece. The music starts with a dramatic introduction that builds tension and grabs the listener's attention. Then the main theme appears, which has a lively dance-like rhythm inspired by Caribbean music. As the piece continues, the melody goes through several variations that get faster and more energetic. Originally, this work was written for solo piano and was meant to show off the performer's virtuosity with fast runs and flashy passages. Sometimes things are easier when you write them than you actually read them. Faster passages and flashy passages. However, in the version arranged by Robert Frost for string orchestra, those musical ideas are shared among the different string sections. Violins often carry the melody, while violas, cellos, and basses support the rhythm and harmony, creating a rich ensemble sound. What makes Souvenir de Puerto Rico interesting is the blend of classical European style with Caribbean musical influences. Gottschalk was one of the first American composers to bring these cultural elements into concert music, which makes this piece an important example of musical fusion in the 19th century. Please welcome the Camerata Chamber Orchestra with concertmaster Kate Evans as they perform music by Louis Moreau Gottschalk, Richard Rogers, and Michael Hopkins. Passacaglia for Strings is a modern composition for string orchestra by American composer Michael Centuria. The piece introduces young musicians to a classic Baroque musical form called the passacaglia. In this style, the music is built on a repeating bass line known as a ground bass. You know, I read that and I wonder, is that cheaper than fillet of bass? And also, if I wasn't a musician, you know I would have read ground bass, right? Okay. Over this steady foundation, Centuria adds a series of variations that gradually change in texture, dynamics, and character. Throughout the piece, different sections highlight a variety of string techniques, from smooth, connected bow strokes to lighter, more separated articulations. These changes not only create musical contrast, but also help developing players build both technical skills and expressive playing. Near the end, the music shifts into a more energetic variation that feels lively and playful, bringing the piece to an exciting close while giving performers a taste of an important historical musical form in a fresh, accessible way. Our second piece, Rosin-Eating Zombies from Outer Space. I'm just reading this, okay? By Richard Meyer, takes a more imaginative approach. The title itself is a joke, thank goodness, for string players. Rosin is the sticky substance musicians put on their bows to help produce sound. So the ideas of zombies coming from outer space just to eat it is pretty funny. The music is programmatic, meaning it tells a story through sound. Meyer uses dramatic rhythms, sudden dynamic changes, and darker minor harmonies to create a slightly spooky atmosphere. At times, repeating rhythms may sound like something creepier is coming closer, while louder accented moments suggest the orchestra reacting to the chaos of a zombie invasion. Make sure that you listen for a musical quote from Alfred Hitchcock's movie thriller Psycho. The piece is also designed to help young musicians develop strong ensemble skills. Players have to stay tightly together rhythmically and pay close attention to the dynamics to help bring the musical story to life. Like much of Richard Meyer's music for school orchestras, it's both educational and entertaining for performers and audiences. Before we perform it, a quick heads up. At several points, you may hear some loud, somewhat unexpected sounds from the orchestra. Not to worry, nothing has gone wrong. Just remember, the zombies may be getting closer. So please welcome the lyric ensemble with concertmaster Sumana Manjipudi. Yes, I got that right, I hope. Sumana Manjipudi, performing music by Michael Centuria and Richard Meyer. What you don't know is that they actually had to audition to scream. Hand to God. Back in 2008, Claudette was awarded the Gene Wigley Award and wanted to do something special for her students, past, present, and future. She decided to ask her close friend, composer Shelley Hansen, if she would accept a commission to write a piece dedicated to the Breck Orchestra students. Hansen gladly took on the project and composed the beautiful and haunting Elegy for Albinoni. The piece quickly gained popularity and was soon arranged beyond its original string orchestra setting, first for full orchestra and later for concert band, allowing this beautiful music to reach a much wider audience. Today, Elegy for Albinoni stands as both a heartfelt tribute to the Baroque composer Tommaso Albinoni and a striking example of how a commission can inspire music that resonates far beyond its first performance. Its emotional depth and elegance reminds us of music's power to honor the past while touching listeners in the present, making it a work that continues to inspire performers and audiences alike. We are fortunate to have Shelley with us today. Hoedown is a lively section from Rodeo, a ballet composed by Aaron Copland in 1942. This version is arranged for strings, which brings a fresh, vibrant sound to Copland's iconic rhythms. Rodeo tells the story of a spirited cowgirl in the American West, and Hoedown captures the energy of a barn dance. Copland based it on American folk tunes and cowboy music, transforming them into bright, exciting orchestral textures. In the string arrangement, the rapid, syncopated rhythms leap between violas, violins, cellos, and basses, giving a sense of playful motion across the dance floor. You can even hear the driving energy and joyful melodies, even without brass or percussion. Over the years, Hoedown has appeared in films, commercials, and other performances, becoming a symbol of American classical music. It's fun, energetic, and unmistakably Copland, celebrating the spirit of the American West. And look, if you really feel compelled to yell, "Beef, it's what's for dinner," at the end, nobody's going to blame you, not a bit. Please welcome the string orchestra with concertmaster William Oberlies performing works by Shelley Hansen and Aaron Copland.
Get ready for some high-energy fun with Fiddler's Contest by Shelley Hansen. Shelley Hansen is celebrated for her imaginative and lively string music. She has a special gift for blending traditional fiddle styles with playful twists and sparkling rhythms that keep both musicians and audiences on their toes. In this piece, Hansen brings to life a spirited fiddle showdown full of friendly competition, surprising turns, and melodies that leap and dance across the stage. Each phrase tells a story, sometimes daring, sometimes humorous, but always bursting with character. Quentin's theme. Now, some of you are going to kind of age yourself by knowing about this, but Quentin's theme by Robert Colbert is from the cult classic ABC soap opera Dark Shadows. Airing from 1966 to 1971, the show captivated audiences, especially teenagers, including Claudette Laureano and Tom Haig. With its gothic mysteries, supernatural twists, and unforgettable characters, Colbert's music was a key part of that eerie atmosphere, and Quentin's theme perfectly captures the haunting romance and quiet tension that made the series so memorable. This afternoon's performance will feature Greta Wilson on the viola. Our final piece is The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the legendary Charlie Daniels. Released in 1979, the song quickly became a cultural phenomenon. It tells the story of a young fiddler named Johnny who is challenged to a duel by the devil himself, wagering his soul against a fiddle of gold. What makes it so thrilling is the electrifying fiddle playing, packed with lightning-fast runs and fiery energy. In this arrangement, the virtuoso parts are shared across the ensemble, giving everyone a chance to shine while keeping the spirit and excitement of the original. Please welcome the Breck Chamber Players with our three concertmasters, Teddy Childs, Grace O'Brien, and Helen Louis.
devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, boy, let me tell you what, I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play a pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I'll bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, cause I think I'm better than you. The boy said, my name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're gonna regret, cause I'm the best that's ever been. Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, cause hell broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. And if you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold, but if you lose, the devil gets your soul. Opened up his case and he said, I'll start this show. And fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. And he pulled the bow across the strings and it made an evil hiss. Then a band of demons joined in and it sounded something like this. Johnny said, well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down in that chair right there and let me show you how it's done. Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granny does your dog bite, don't chop no. The devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat. And he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, devil, come on back if you ever want to try again. Cause I told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the best that's ever been. He played Fire on the Mountain, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granny, does your dog bite? No child, no.
Wow. God, I love that piece. Okay. Before I recognize our seniors, I'd like to share a quick housekeeping note. After our final number, which comes after the blab, we'll take 10 to 15-minute intermission, so feel free to stretch your legs and enjoy a cookie. Then, please make your way back into the theater for a special final presentation. Following that, we invite you to join us for ice cream and lemonade. I don't know how the weather is out there, but either in the lobby or outside in front of the theater. Each year, we honor our graduating seniors for their dedication and commitment to the orchestra program, and this year is no exception. Their hard work, musicianship, and leadership have meant a great deal to the orchestra program. At this time, I would like to invite our seniors to the stage so we can recognize their accomplishments. Jared Noble, affectionately known as JJ. Jared discovered the bass during the 4th grade rotation, and from that moment, it became a central part of his life. Over the past 8 years, he has brought strength and foundation to the orchestra, qualities essential to both music and the ensemble. One of his favorite performances was Pirates of the Caribbean, a piece full of energy, drama, and adventure. He also cherishes the camaraderie, like celebrating successful concerts with bagels in class. One of the most profound lessons Jared learned from orchestra is what he calls the quick recovery. When mistakes happen, keep moving forward. That mindset of resilience, focus, and determination will serve him well in his future. Jared will be attending St. Olaf College next year. Thank you, Jared, for 8 incredible years of commitment, positivity, and for your wonderful music. Thank you. Isaac Toe. Isaac began his orchestra journey in 5th grade after participating in the 4th grade rotation, and he has spent the last 8 years growing as a musician. From the start, he showed steady dedication, proving that consistent practice and perseverance are the keys to improvement. One of his favorite memories was performing Handel's Messiah, the Hallelujah Chorus, which we did with the choir this past winter, a meaningful concert that truly stood out. Alongside pieces like Fiddler's Contest, these experiences highlight his love for both lively and deeply moving music. Personally, I always will remember the times Isaac arrived early and we would sit down and talk for maybe 15, 20 minutes. Those conversations became some of the most special moments of my work with him. Isaac will be attending Rochester Institute of Technology to study mechanical engineering. Isaac, thank you for 8 wonderful years, for your dedication, care, and heart. You have left a lasting impact on the orchestra program here at Breck. Thank you. Greta Wilson. Today is very poignant for me in so many ways. Greta is the 2nd grant student that I graduate for the orchestra program, the first being her sister Annika 2 years ago. Greta joined orchestra in the 5th grade after participating in the 4th grade rotation, where she even led her class when we were learning to play scales. She's been playing the viola for 12 years, starting at the age of 6. Some of her favorite memories include performing with her sister in the Breck Chamber Players and playing in a middle school string trio. Moments like that will last forever, really. Orchestra retreats, though long, were sometimes a little awkward, in her words, not mine. They became some of her most memorable experiences. Greta says that through orchestra she learned confidence, resilience, and the importance of trusting her own voice, skills that will serve her well beyond music. And while she appreciated the bagels, she still thinks ice cream parties would have been a pretty great tradition too. Greta will be attending Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee, and will be majoring in engineering. Thank you, Greta, for a great 8 years of dedication, growth, and music. Selena came to Breck as a freshman in the string orchestra and moved into chamber players in her junior year, just in time to take on the bass part to Shostakovich's The Gadfly. One of her favorite memories was performing this piece at the Minnesota Music Educators Association's All-State Convention, an unforgettable experience that showcased the hard work and talent of the entire ensemble. She also remembers fun moments like celebrating with a meal at Chick-fil-A after a performance at a senior community center. Selena's favorite piece of music was also Pirates of Caribbean, a crowd pleaser, I guess. Lots of energy, lots of excitement. Through the orchestra, she learned that every part matters. Each line may seem small on its own, but combined, they create something powerful and beautiful. This understanding of teamwork and contribution will carry her far beyond the orchestra room. Selena will be attending Northwestern University in Chicago. Thank you, Selena, for 4 great years, for all your hard work and commitment and music to the Breck Orchestra program. As most of you know, this is my final concert and the end of my Breck career. And I must admit, it's been a little difficult to say goodbye to my incredible students and to you, dear parents, who have been such an important part of their musical lives. Your children are a reflection of you, and from my perspective, they represent the very best our society has to offer. Thank you for giving them the gift of music, of a music education, and for supporting them through the joys and sometimes the frustrations of learning an instrument. Music is a lifelong gift, and as you heard today, your children will carry on that gift for years to come. Later. Manny, this is, where are you, bud? Oh, there you go. This is the 20th year that you have emceed our Stringfest concert. It's a shame that this one is the last one together because you're finally starting to get the hang of it. Thank you for the class that you bring to every concert, for your humor, your professionalism, and for your willingness to do almost anything I ask. You have been my rock and my support, and I love you. Thank you to my daughter, Kiko, where are you? There you go, for all your encouragement and support over the years, and for traveling all the way from Boston to share this moment with me. Thank you to Max and Brittany for your incredible love and support in everything you do. And I do, actually, not you. And for giving me my beautiful granddaughter, Madeline May. She is perfection at its very best. want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Eric Gustafson for all his help with the lights, moving equipment, and handling the many technical demands of today's program. Eric and his staff are outstanding, and I deeply appreciate their dedication and attention to details. A big thank you to Sharon Mazion, Camilla Horn, Charlotte Wheeler, Melita Anderson, Ben Bakken, Renee Guitar, David Byro, Andy Myers, Rachel Hansel, Clay Puffall, and Tom Haig, Lisa Doring, and John Bellamy. For your friendship, your support, and the collaboration over the many years we worked together. You will always be dear to me and always in my heart. Thank you to all the heads of school who supported the orchestra program during my time here, beginning with John Littleford, who took a real chance hiring someone with no experience. Sam Salas, who loved music so much, he would walk all the way down from his office on the other end of the building so that he could spend 15 minutes with me just talking about classical music. Ed Kim, who was not only a wonderful leader, but also a friend, and he trusted me with his 3 beautiful daughters, Sophia, Helena, and Luisa. And finally, thank you to Dr. Natalia Hernandez for your friendship and your dedication to Breck School. A sincere thank you to Sky Favre and Spree McDonald for always being available to talk with me, and to Megan Glover and Kelly Skarkvet for their innovative and creative approaches to helping me schedule rehearsals over the years. A big thank you to Sherry Mitchell, Joan and John Rex, Carla and Michael Rosenman, Elizabeth Viafana, Julia Maddox, Alicia Cardwell, and to all the parents over the many years who worked so hard to create the wonderful receptions after our concerts. Those receptions were always a highlight for my students. Thank you to Elizabeth Rager and her catering team for the wonderful treats we've all enjoyed after concerts for many years, and also for the pizza parties we've had 3 times this year. So when you see Elizabeth, say thank you, please. A heartfelt thank you to Denny Aarons and for his security team. They kept us safe, and they do this day in, day out. Thank you to Mike Thornton, Jacob Kennedy, Miguel Gonzalez, Paul Bleasy, Dale Seward, Walter Walker, and the entire Breck staff who worked tirelessly to keep this campus running like a well-oiled machine. A giant and heartfelt thank you to Stephanie Masono and Denise Coyne for helping to create the musical legacy that I have always dreamed of. Your support, talent, and dedication mean more than words can express. I'm incredibly grateful to share this journey with you both. A huge thank you to all my former students who took time out of their busy schedules to join me today. I'm so touched, and you'll never know how touched. It's just mind-boggling to me that you traveled from as far as Seattle, Chicago, California, Puerto Rico, and Georgia, and to come back to Minnesota and celebrate this concert with me. Would you please stand? Very special thank you to the original Breck crew from the 1980s who were with me from the beginning and are here today. Please stand when I call your name. Andrew Tolley, Vicki Price, Valerie Price, Siri Anderson, Susan Fink, Nisa Erickson, Holly Stocker, Kristen Erickson, and Sean Nygaard. Even after 40 years, you still bring me great joy. Thank you. My final thank you is to you, my precious students. Without you, I would not have had a job. Without you, my musical voice would never have been heard. You are the reason I stayed at Breck for so long, and I will always be available to you long after I leave. Although another year would have been wonderful, I know you will be in the best of hands under the skillful baton of your new orchestra director, Antonio Verdugo. He is a master teacher, and he probably won't scare you as much as I have. At this time, I would like to invite all the Breck Strings to the stage, also alumni performing artists, so that we can perform our final piece. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
It probably won't surprise Claudette one bit that this is the moment where I go a little bit off script. And she already said so much about the program and what it has meant to her, but now I want to speak to the parents very specifically. What I need you to understand about the work that Claudette has done ever since she stepped foot into Breck School was that by providing music to these students, you need to understand that at a time when so many young people needed to find a voice, needed to be able to express themselves in the deepest possible way, rather than the superficiality of fashions and whatever else was going on just at the time, whatever trends were going on. The study of music with Claudette in the orchestra gave these kids a chance to be able to say something when they felt that other ways of expressing themselves just weren't reaching anyone. To have a voice at a time when you need it most is a gift that some may understand, others may never understand, but understand that for 29 years under the direction of Claudette Laureano, these kids had every opportunity to be able to say something with their instruments, which were mirrors of what was going on in their souls. And that's a very, very important thing. Claudette, I can't see you right now, wherever you are, there you go. I just want to tell you how incredibly proud I am of you. And I think I can speak for all the members of our family when I say that we're all very proud of you and that we love you. Thanks for everything that you've done. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up, scoot a little closer, don't be shy now, because we're about to whisk you straight to the bustling streets of River City, Iowa. And believe me when I tell you, in a town like that, music isn't just entertainment, it's lifeblood, it's the heartbeat, the very spark that gets the whole town marching. Now today, oh yes indeed, our sensational Breck Strings are fixing to bring you their shining, sparkling, strutting rendition of the Grand Parade classic, 76 trombones by that all-American musical treasure, the Music Man by the one and only Meredith Wilson. But wait just a minute, because this isn't your everyday brass band blow. Oh, sir. These clever musicians have taken that bold, banner-waving march and turned it into a dazzling string spectacular. Just picture, if you will, violins lifting their bows high and soaring like bright pennants over Main Street. Violas chiming in with that warm golden middle that makes a heart grow 2 sizes larger. And the cellos and basses, where they're stepping long, steady and proud, laying down rhythm so strong you'll swear you hear the boots of a whole marching brigade thundering down the avenue. Close your eyes and you can see it plain as day. Townsfolk lining the sidewalks, hats waving, children laughing, the whole city stepping in time while that magnificent trombone parade comes shimmering to life in a whirl of strings. Every note pops with the bright-eyed optimism that made Meredith Willson famous from coast to coast, and by the time this musical procession reaches its grand and glorious finale, you won't just be sitting there politely clapping, oh no, you'll be in the parade yourselves. Smiling, clapping, toes tapping, hearts lifted, carried along by that irresistible toe, twitching excitement that only music, good music, community music can bring. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. The baton is poised, the bows are ready. Please put your hands together and give a grand River City welcome to the one, the only brilliant concertmaster himself, Isaac Toe.
Thanks for making your way back in here. We just have a short time together. As you can see, there's so many people who are here to reconnect and stay connected with our dear friend and colleague and teacher and mentor, Claudette Laureano. So thank you for coming back to take some time to celebrate this momentous occasion. We'll hear a few short stories. We'll hear from our seniors, and then we'll have a final closing alumni speaker who Claudette still doesn't know who that is. It's hard to keep a secret from her, too. For me, I'm not quite sure. I've been Claudette's colleague for 20 years. And so I'm not quite sure myself what it's going to be like to not come in and poke my head in the door and say, "Good morning, sunshine." Or for me to be getting ready for my first class and hearing the metronome and the banging of the beat on the music stand. Students, I know you know what I'm talking about. How many has she broken? I know on behalf of my performing arts colleagues and my former performing arts colleagues and friends over here, she is a treasure and she will be missed. So I would like to take just a moment of time to invite our first very special guest, Dr. Natalia Hernandez, with some special news. And when she is finished, she will hand it off to our seniors. So, Dr. Hernandez.
Good afternoon. Yes, what an incredibly special occasion. I want to take a moment to welcome our parents who are still with us this afternoon and our students. Is the mic cutting in and out? Yeah, a little bit? Okay. Our students, my goodness, could we give them another round of applause? It truly is magical what you do, and I know that we're here to celebrate Ms. Laureano, who has done it for so many years, but truly it is your talent, your effort, your dedication, your hard work that pays off in the way that we heard today. I want to welcome faculty and staff who are here. Claudette is beloved. I want to welcome back former faculty and staff who are here. I want to welcome back alumni who are here. Welcome home. We miss you. You're always welcome. I want to offer a special welcome. I heard that Ed Kim is here with his wife, Hannah, former head of school, Ed Kim. Welcome. What a gift you offered us for 10 years here at Breck, and we're so happy to welcome you back. Yeah, this feels like a family reunion. And then it feels that way because of what Breck is, who Breck is, the community we create that was created well before I ever arrived, and that we carry with honor, and we work hard to make our alumni and our former faculty proud. And Claudette is a great example of that. You know, I often say that Breck was founded in 1886. So no matter how long we are here, we are all here but for a short time. And the fingerprint that Claudette has left on our community is almost indescribable. 29 years. I promise you, I told her more than once that 30 was a much better number. But with that little baby, I completely understand. A few facts and figures about Claudette's time at Breck. Claudette was hired in 1982, as she said, by John Littleford. When she started the strings program at Breck. And when she started the strings program, she started with 18. And in 6 years grew it to 65. You just saw the stage and what it consistently has become after so many years. She was only here for 6 years for the first time and then came back, rehired in 2003 by Sam Salas after having her two children, Max, who graduated in the class of 2009, and Kiko, who graduated in the class of 2013. Claudette has contributed in many ways to Breck and to our community. You know, when we hire teachers, I don't know how many teachers I've hired in my career, but when I hire teachers, there's one question I ask every single person I interview. It's the first question out the gate, and I ask them, what is it that gives your professional life purpose and meaning? I didn't get to ask Claudette that question. I wasn't the one honored enough to hire her. But I imagine if I had asked Claudette that question, or even if I asked her today, Claudette, what is it that gives your professional life purpose and meaning? It's the students. And here's the answer you're looking for when you're ahead of school. Watching students learn. The minute the light bulb goes off, the minute they get it, the minute they understand, yes, the concert's beautiful. But that's after so many thousands of learning moments where the light bulb goes off. And that's what inspires a talented, professional, excellent, caring, all the adjectives you can think of, teacher, conductor, musician, like Claudette. So there are not enough words to thank Claudette for all that she has done, not just for this group. For years, hundreds of students who Claudette has taught, starting from the moment they are first put an instrument in their hands. She is that person who would sit with fourth graders week over week, having them try different instruments. And I have to tell you, I made the mistake one time of telling Claudette, I've never even held a violin. And so she said, you must. And so I did. And she gave me homework. Listen, holding that bow is very hard. So I came back to her maybe 4 or 5 days later, and I said, thank you very much. The violin is not for me. It is incredible the work that she has done, taught hundreds of students, and now they're children, and as we heard tonight, now they're grandchildren. And so it is so full of tradition and emotion and care and respect and love for every single moment you've had. The ups and the downs. Learning and growing is hard, and teaching with personalization and press, with care and push, is incredibly difficult. And it comes with joy, and it comes with hardship. And Claudette, you have managed those moments with grace, and you have done it in a way that has served our community incredibly well. Our promise is that we will continue to invest in this program and provide it the resources to have it meet what you have built here and carry your legacy in an incredibly strong way. This is and will be a keystone program for us. You are a draw, our orchestra is a draw, and it will remain such at Breck School. I want to thank you personally for the times that you have come into my office, for the times that you have pushed me, and for the times that you've given me the opportunity to make our community even better. I want to thank you for what you've offered everyone in this community. You could have spent your time, your spirit, your talent, your potential, literally anywhere. And you chose to do that here, at Breck, with us. Culture is not created by a mission statement. Culture is not created by the definitions of a core value that you memorize. Culture is in the tiny moments that happen between every single individual on our campus. I went into education, and I stayed in education, and I became an administrator in education because I believe in the power of the teacher. And this is the best example I can come up with. It is incredible what a strong teacher who cares deeply, who understands what the edge of learning for each individual student looks like. And that's what Claudette has offered us. Our culture is our people. We are our people. Those of you who were at Breck at some point and have left and come back and feel the warmth that is here when we say hello to each other, when we greet each other, when we are thrilled to be in each other's presence, that remains at Breck, and it will always. Claudette, I hope we continue to make you proud. Claudette's legacy is one that she cannot leave on her own. She leaves it with us, with our memories, with our interactions, with our experiences that we all had with her. I want to take a moment to thank those individuals who took it upon themselves to found and commit to the Claudette Laureano Legacy Fund. The fund will provide enrichment experiences for orchestra students and will carry on Claudette's musical legacy for generations. If you don't know about this or you haven't had the chance to contribute yourself, there is a QR code. There is a QR, you can look now if you want to take out your phones and look now. I'm teasing. But in truth, there's so many things that resources come in so many different forms. Time, talent, and also treasure. So if you have the opportunity and the possibility to do so, we invite you to contribute to that. I don't know that I have more words, but my feelings, I hope, speak for themselves. On behalf of every head of school you've worked for, on behalf of every colleague you've worked with, who you've shared time and space and learning with on your own, on behalf of every single student whose lives you touched, whether they went on to be professional musicians on their own right, or if they are lifelong learners and just continue to do so for fun, or if they just had the time with you and learned with you and never picked the instrument up again, they benefited from every moment you gave them. Thank you, Claudette. All right? And really, the truth is, every single one of us is only here for our students. So I took way too long at the microphone, and at this time, I'd like to welcome our seniors who are speaking on behalf of Ms. Laureano.
Miss Laureano, 8 years. That's how long Miss Laureano has been more than just my orchestra teacher. She's been my advocate, my anchor, and somehow my audience for every single inside joke I've ever shared with Aquila. No matter how quietly we thought we were laughing, she always caught us, every time, and yet she never gave up on us. That says everything you need to know about her. From the moment I first walked into her classroom as a fourth grader to now, standing here as a graduating senior, Miss Laureano has shaped not just how I play music, but how I show up for the things I love. When staying in orchestra wasn't a guarantee, she fought for me. She didn't have to, but she did without hesitation, because that's who she is. 8 years of rehearsals, performances, and memories have taught me that music is only part of what happens in her classroom. The rest is belonging. She built a space where we could grow, stumble, laugh, perhaps a little too loudly, and ultimately find our place in something bigger than ourselves. Miss Laureano, you gave me 8 years of your dedication and a lifetime of gratitude. In return, as you step into a well-earned retirement, I hope you carry with you the knowledge, that your impact doesn't end with when the last note fades. It lives in every student you believed in, including me. Thank you, Ms. Laureano. Thank you for everything. The orchestra will never sound quite the same without you.
This is from Yu Chen, who is unable to be here. Dear Mrs. Laureano, I'm a very blunt person, so naturally I'll tell my honest first impression of you. I still remember it was our Zoom call audition for BCP. You couldn't hear my violin because the microphone kept filtering it out for background noise. Right after the call, I turned to my mom and said, "She looks like a very frightening old lady in her 80s. That impression didn't exactly improve after the first time I met you in person. It was the first day of the orchestra retreat, and you yelled at me for playing violin with my legs crossed and slouching low in my chair. But everything changed one morning when I came to school early to warm up. That was when I realized you are a completely different person when you're conducting versus when you're not. When you're conducting, your face tightens, your expression sharpens, and your intimidating eyes make it clear that you will catch every mistake I make. But at any other moment, you are the warmest and most loving person I know. I still remember when you said I could stay with you and Manny if I needed to, and that I could become your extra son. Maybe you don't remember saying that, but I do. So thank you, Mrs. Laureano. Thank you for showing me how to be feared and loved at the same time. Thank you for raising me to be confident in my playing, and most importantly, thank you for helping me fall in love with classical music. I promise I will never stop playing my instruments and that I will come back one day to thank you in person. And this is from me. Mrs. Laureano, thinking back to our first meeting the summer before my freshman year, I can say that I'm proud of how far I've come, and it's only thanks to you. You never went easy on me and pushed me to reach my highest potential. But beneath your strict demeanor, I only see the most dedicated person who cares about each of her students and truly loves what she does. I'm so lucky to have had someone like that supporting me from day one, and I think the world could use more people like you. Although it's bittersweet to close this chapter for the both of us, it only means that we're starting a new one, and I'm so excited to stay in touch. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's been an honor learning from you.
Mrs. Laureano is probably the only teacher that's taught me real life skills. Surprisingly, not one of these lessons has to do with music. From the moment I walked into my first orchestra class in 5th grade, insecure, shy, and quiet, I knew I wouldn't make it out of there unchanged. I knew from the start that the force of a woman I was lucky enough to call my teacher would change me in ways I wouldn't even imagine. Somewhere along the way, in my 8 years with her, I learned skills that will help me succeed in life. Mrs. Laureano taught me about the little things, to sit up straight, how to forge my parents' signature on practice sheets. Sorry. And to look the scariest person in the room in the eye. But more importantly, she taught me how to stand up for myself. She forced me to learn how to keep my head high even in the face of adversity. She gave me a backbone that will carry me through the rest of my life. And finally, she showed me how to find my voice. Mrs. Laureano, I'll never be able to repay you for how much you've done for me, but I'll forever be grateful. I love you.
Miss Laureano, it is truly a miracle that I've made it this far in the orchestra program. To be totally honest with you, I did not practice, and much to my parents' surprise, as much as I truly have said. Even though I am good, theoretically, at playing the violin, like you, my parents, and Cindy have said, I could be so much more. Miss Laureano, you have been a mentor, a teacher, and almost a parent to me over these past 8 years. And to be honest with you, as much as you hate me eating gum, I chewed gum for every single day of 8th grade, and you only caught me twice. Miss Laureano, I want to thank you so much for pushing me through this program, bringing me higher, and just pushing me to my limit without practicing as much as I could. You are probably also the person I've cried to the most, next to none to my parents. And to be honest with you, those were not tears of joy. But maybe this time I just might. Joy in that I have grown all these years with you, and you have been a mentor, a teacher to me, and that we are both leaving Breck together. Thank you so much, Miss Laureano. I love you. Now I'm handing this off to Eden Motto to speak next.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that. Claudette, I wrote probably 5 drafts of this, because there's just too many words to say to you. It's hard to say just a few words about the phenomenon which is Claudette Laureano. To say that she is brilliant, a creative maestra, an innovator, a woman full of chutzpah and demanding of excellence, while caring deeply about each student, is all true. But it doesn't begin to cover the depth of her impact or adequately capture her legacy. I know that she had a deep impact on my life. I never thought that I could be a musician. I came to Breck High School from a charter school with a rather weak orchestra. Claudette, in all of her ingenuity and discernment, saw correctly that I would not be able to play with the chamber players in the fall. However, she didn't turn me away. She never turned anyone away. She invented a novel program for me so that I could have music in my life. She opened doors that didn't even exist and invited me into a world that I longed to be a part of. She spent hours practicing with me, tapping out rhythms with 2 different hands in a wildly brain-bending exercise. She reminded me frankly when I hadn't practiced, with the deepest love, something that I see she still does to this day. Some of my closest friends were in the orchestra, students who are creative and quirky and brilliant in their own ways. Claudette took every one of them under her wing. She was a second mother to so many. We did homework, chatted, and practiced. Sometimes we just came into her room to get a snack. Her room was like a second home, a respite from a busy day. Now I am her colleague. I see her as the kind of teacher that I strive to model myself after. She is firm but kind, someone who pushes her students to grow, and yet someone you feel right at home with and loved by. Though she's no longer my teacher, she has not changed one bit. She still offers me bits of advice, supportive words, the keys to practice rooms, and access to her many cellos. Whatever you need, Claudette will give you. Her generosity is boundless. Claudette has touched thousands of lives, as evidenced by just a few handfuls of her past and present students here to celebrate her tonight. Her diligence, care, and love has continued and will continue to impact many more through the sparks that she lit within each of these students. It has been a great privilege to be able to call myself her student, her colleague, and her friend. I'm so grateful to know you, and I'm excited that you finally will get to rest a little bit. You will be deeply missed and celebrated. I love you, Claudette.
Thank you again for sharing this afternoon with us, and for most importantly, celebrating our friend, colleague, and mentor, Claudette Laureano. We invite you to join us for some ice cream and lemonade outside. If you haven't taken a moment to do so, we have writing stations out there if you'd like to write a personal note. There are many stories beyond the ones we heard here today, so we'd appreciate if you take a moment to share one out there, and we'll be sure that she gets it. Thank you all for coming today. Claudette, did you have anything you'd like to finish with?
I have to be scripted, but I can talk from the heart, and that is, it's been really a life-changing experience for me as well, and I had no idea what I was getting into when I walked into John Littleford's office, and I had no experience. And he was desperate. It was Monday. Oh yeah. It was Monday, and his school was starting the following Monday, and he had nobody. And he interviewed me, and I just said whatever I said, and he said, "Okay, you're hired." And that was it. I had no idea what I was doing. Andrew, Tolly, I don't know if you remember this, I was winging it. I didn't know what to do with you people, so I said, write a piece. And so you guys wrote music. I mean, you know, it was just crazy. But after a while, they taught me a lot. And I would say that my best education was not in school, but it was here. And it was working with people like these kids, and that kid, and Vicki, you, still a kid, all of you, still my kids. And I love every single one of you. And I love you guys. I love all of you. And I truly mean that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the most incredible 29 years of my life. Thank you.